Hi, my name is Sean Eldridge. So I was born and raised in upstate New York, close to the Finger Lakes region. Moved around a bit for my dad's job growing up and decided to stay in upstate New York for undergrad. I went to Rochester Institute of Technology, played lacrosse there, and studied printing management. Never actually did anything with that major. Actually started with Johnson & Johnson right out of undergrad. Did a leadership development program for several years before serving as internal consultant. Then going to graduate school here in Boston. And then after that, spent some time at Procter & Gamble in healthcare, venture capital, and marketing, and Weight Watchers. And now we're located here at the Launch Lab running a healthcare startup. I attended Harvard Business School and graduated in 2009. And we started a company called Gain Life. We provide gender-specific healthy living programs, really mindset-focused programs, so that combination of mindset, activity, and nutrition, so not so much around eat this, not that, do this exercise, not that exercise, but really helping understand where a person is, where they want to get to, and then connecting them with a coach to be able to help walk with them along that journey, keeping them supported and accountable. And right now, our health outcomes are about 2 to 2.5 times the gold standard in disease prevention and reduction. So users engage with us in a complete virtual sense. So they connect with their coach over video session like Skype or FaceTime. And then within our web app, they private message their coach back and forth. And so over the course of the core program, which is 16 weeks, they're checking in with their coach each week, letting them know how they're doing with those mindset activity itself in terms of physical aerobic activity, and then also their nutritional choices. And so their coach is able to provide them with real-time feedback for how their progress is coming along and what they can do to improve throughout the program. And then most folks actually continue working with their coach after the conclusion of that 16-week program, again, all virtually, where a coach could be any place in the world, and the same thing with a member. They're just making it work on their phone, tablet, or computer at any time. This is for both of our brands. Man Up, which is designed for men, and Power Up, which is designed for women, is one-on-one coaching at this point in time. But there is some works under development right now for Power Up for group coaching. 70% of the individuals who complete the 16 weeks continue working with their coach. We've been in business now just under, we've been offering this service specifically for about 18 months, and it looks like our retention is up towards 1 year right now. And so it seems like it's a very sticky service where when that bond with the coach and the member is formed, they continue going strong for months and months to come until that individual either achieves their health goal or feels as though they have a good grasp on these new habits and no longer need the support and accountability of their coach. Our ideal customer would be twofold. So in terms of customer as defined as who's going to pay for the service, we sell to consumers direct, we sell to employers, and we sell to insurance companies. I'd say the ideal customer is somebody who is truly motivated to make a change at this given time. And so whether their employer is providing them a subsidy to participate in one of our programs or their insurer is providing a subsidy or reimbursement to participate, we want that consumer to not be forced into it and to truly feel like they are the customer of making that purchase decision, even when price is taken out of the equation. So it's hopefully somebody who wants to reduce their health risks, lose a little bit of weight, and really kind of gain that energy to take on life in any way that they really see fit. Our biggest challenges right now would be technology. So we don't have a full-time technologist on staff. We have an amazing advisor who not only advises from a tech perspective, but really does most of the work for us. And so having, access to any connections of people who might know, hey, there's a great full-stack developer with 7 to 10 years of experience here in town that is really interested in health and wellness, and making that connection, that'd be really helpful. Also, I think anybody who has significant experience in and around social media and or significant insurance contacts to be able to help us commercialize the offering further here in 2016. So trying to get more consumers through social media, to attract them to our brand, and then hopefully kind of tease them into our programs over time, and then access to employers and insurers of having those warm introductions of, hey, here's a great business that you guys need to be looking at.
And what about media and press? Anything?
So we haven't done much from a public relations perspective to date. I think that in 2016, we'd like to see our brands much more in the public eye. And so that's one of the areas that, looking into potential advisors of the business and or brand ambassadors, folks that feel strongly about trying to help others live healthier lives, connecting with those individuals to be able to bring them into the fold of our company and help us spread the word to be able to enable more people to live better lives. That's something we'd be looking for also. My strongest skills would be that of operations. I was a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt for quite some time at Johnson & Johnson. And so whether it's looking at large data sets, whether it's looking at processes, whether it's designing experiences, those are three things that fell within kind of my expertise at J&J, and then was also able to take several products to market in my previous roles at Procter & Gamble and Weight Watchers. And so I think working with big companies and understanding how they do business development, as well as how they think about bringing different products to life and even acquiring companies, that's something that I have a bit of expertise around.
Hi, my name is Mugdha Narasimhan. I'm the Chief Experience Officer at Mini PCR. I was born in Mumbai in India, and I was there until I was 11 years old. And then we moved to Tampa for about a year, and then I've been in Boston ever since. I was at BCG for about 6 years, and I had an opportunity to work across a lot of different industries. So my passion is in retail and consumer space, but I also did a lot of healthcare and lots of other areas, and bridging across all functions. So, strategy, but also operations, human resources, communications. So jack of all trades. That was my experience at BCG.
Perfect. And after BCG, then what did you do?
I had my own startup for a year. My passion has always been in the education space, and particularly for children. So I started off with a concept to make culture more accessible for children. And after spending a year or so in that, I felt that I wanted to focus on a topic that gets a little bit deeper into sciences, because culture, while it was really important and I feel passionately about it, I wanted to focus my energy on a topic that needs even more attention, the basic needs that we have for STEM education. I'm the Chief Experience Officer at Mini PCR. At Mini PCR, we're really passionate about making DNA science accessible to everyone, everywhere. So we create technology that's really simple to use. It's easy. You can hold it in the palm of your hand. You can understand the science of what's happening. And it's done at a price point that's affordable even at the public school level. So the technology itself was developed 30 years ago, but it was typically these big boxes that are on benches, accessible only at professional lab environments. So it wasn't really something that students can get their hands on. When I was in Waltham High, the way I learned about DNA was, it was a craft exercise. Connect these balls with these things, and that's what's happening. And I'm the kind of learner that has to do in order to learn. So I never had that opportunity, and I had great passion for biology, but I never really pursued it. I instead did economics. And I think that what we're trying to do is that when you understand what's happening, and you can actually do it in school, the learning is far more deeper. You don't have to learn about DNA through textbooks. DNA is all around us. You hear about it in the news when someone's arrested and we're not sure whether someone's guilty or not, or GMO crops. It's everywhere. We're bombarded with it, and people have opinions about it, and not necessarily people truly understand what it means. Absolutely. So we have been selling for maybe 2 years or so. Really, the push started in 2015, though, and we are selling all over the globe. We're focusing on the education market, but we have tons of field scientists who are excited. So we had someone doing research on lemurs in Madagascar. We had a scientist from UK setting up a diagnostic facility in Sierra Leone to combat Ebola, and he had used our machines. So we have scientists who needed equipment that is portable. so that they can be in field settings. So we have people like that using it. We also have people in traditional lab settings who feel that, they want something that's on their benchtop. So when they're running quick experiments, they can have access to it. And we have hundreds of students using it in school systems too, helping us spread the word. Our biggest challenge right now is awareness, because I have talked to hundreds of teachers, and you see their eyes lighting up when they see what we're offering. They can't believe that it is even available. So the issue isn't the what that we're selling, it's that we just don't have enough feet on the ground to talk to the hundreds of people out there to get the awareness up. So I think the work ahead, at least for the next year, is just to get out there, talk to as many people as we possibly can. We're trying to do a lot across the board, because there's just general awareness we can do from newsletters and blanketing with mailings and doing maybe some discount coupons, but we also need feet on the ground. So we're considering whether we have some sales force strategy where we need a great balance. So it's not the typical salesperson that you think of, but we need somebody who has passion in education, has a science background, really understands and loves our product, and goes and talks to teachers and connects the way that we can. So it's a lot of that, but we're also doing a lot of collaborations with science outreach organizations where we do workshops for them, create content. So it's a little bit of, just dipping our toe in terms of connecting with the customer through these blanket newsletters, but then far more deeper connections, 30 teachers at a time at a workshop.
Right. And tell me, how are you funded today?
Self-funded. So we are privately funded, yeah, and we've been really successful so far. So we're able to reinvest some of that money into launching new products. So we started with our PCR machine, and we're just about to launch, and we actually have pre-sold quite a bit of these. We're calling it Blue Gel. It's an electrophoresis with built-in illuminator. People are going nuts over it, so it's really exciting.
And what is that?
So the PCR machine is, you can put a DNA sample in it and it amplifies. So it's basically a photocopier. So when you hear in the media that we found DNA sample, you can't just use that sample. You need to multiply it. You need to have multiple copies. The electrophoresis with illuminator is the visualization. So imagine when you get an X-ray done, you have to, you need something to look at it. It's not that exact thing because an X-ray is a picture, but what you're doing here is you're creating millions of copies and you run it through, it's electrically charged and it pulls the molecules apart. You need some way to visualize what it is that you're looking at. So it's a great set because now it's complete biotech. You can do the copying and the visualization all for under $1,000. So when I say customers, consumers, I've always been passionate about people, period. And for my career, I decided to focus on the retail consumer space because those are kind of the topics. And I've done I've spent a lot of time thinking about rolling out new companies, new divisions, new products, startups, but thinking about everything that you do from the customer perspective. So when it comes to things like marketing, branding, customer experience, I know some about a lot of those things, right? And what makes her tick, what makes him tick, what are they looking for? Because sometimes it's not just what you're trying to sell, but appealing to their needs and their wants and not selling your product, but selling a need. So I think about that all the time. I obsess about people and what gets them excited, but doing so in an earnest way. And the other, I'd say, because I spent so much time as a management consultant, we were put into situations, where there are complicated problems and you're trying to solve it. I'm able to extract a lot of the noise and just focus on, well, what needs to get done and what do you really need to answer? And I think that's helpful. Not that I'm an expert at it, but I think in the startup space particularly, because time is at a premium, there's a billion things to do and there's only so much time. And sometimes I will pass out on the couch before I do, even two of them. So, but I have that perspective on what is critical, and of that, what's critical, what part of it really needs to get done. Talking about Mini PCR as a brand and which customer we're trying to serve, because we have hit on some amazing needs on the education, because that hands-on DNA analysis wasn't even accessible, and teachers are loving it. But we also have a lot of the professionals who are hungry to have something that's portable, that's something that's personal. So I know that you can only truly speak to one customer at a time and do it in a really elegant fashion. At least that's the age-old wisdom. But it's I'm conflicted because
Is that true? And if so, how who do you
right, who do you focus on? And for now, our product it's great. It's serving a lot of different people, and we can talk about the different needs that we're serving. But as we think of investing into new pipeline, where do you focus?